Welcome to this segment of Valley Girl Dish. I'm Abby Testerberg, the co-owner of Dish in the Spoon Cafe, and with me today I have Samantha Bluhm. She is the founder of the Navigator Group, a Master Certified Life Coach. And today we're going to be making a very, very simple, very healthy treat, a peanut butter health nugget. We've had a few kind of naughty treats in the past, and I think this time, since we're all trying to fit into our swimsuits here coming up, we're going to give you something that you can have that you don't feel so bad about. We're also going to talk a little bit about how your job as a life coach corresponds with my job and my environment here at the cafe.
Okay, first we'll introduce the recipe for the peanut butter energy nuggets. We chose this recipe because we wanted the flavor, the sweetness of a pastry, but the natural energy of a power bar. So we went with the peanut butter nuggets, and you start with a cup of non-fat dried milk, a half a cup of graham cracker crumbs, a half a cup of peanut butter, and then a half a cup of honey. We blend that all together, and then we roll them into finely chopped walnuts just for a nice added flavor and a natural energy. We're going to mix the ingredients together.
And Samantha and I actually met last week to talk about doing this together, and we had a wonderful conversation. I see Samantha often as she comes in for coffee and also meets with friends and some of your clients here. And I know her, but I didn't know exactly what it meant to be a life coach and what she does for a living. So it was wonderful to just get to sit at the coffee shop and actually talk with one of my customers and acquaintances. And one of the things that Samantha and I talked a little bit about was how she uses the environment of the coffee shop to relate to some of your clients and uses this as a place to meet initially. And maybe you want to talk a little bit towards, the aspects of the environment and how that relates to what it is you do.
Well, what I love about the coffee shop, is that you come in here and it's always a comfortable and safe spot to feel like you're surrounded by people who aren't going to judge you, who aren't going to be too nosy, but you're friendly enough to say hello. So there's always that aspect. But there's also the idea that you're part of a community. When you're in the coffee shop, you just know that it's part of the bigger picture. And it's a great big experiment with a bunch of different kinds of conversations. So that's one of the reasons I love to be at the coffee shop. It makes people feel comfortable. It makes people feel like they're part of the community and they feel safe. Another reason that I like to meet at the coffee shop is that it gives people comfort food. Coffee is just one of those staples. Some of the most important conversations that usually happen over a cup of coffee. So that's what I love, about meeting with clients at the coffee shop.
And you have a blog, and your article last week was on that idea of the table and talking.
Yeah.
So you may want to talk a little bit about that too.
Yep. Many years ago, in a life transition, several girlfriends and I decided just to meet over our kitchen table. And those were some of the most important and critical and life-changing conversations of my life. And when I think about the coffee shop and the energy at the coffee shop and the quality of people at the coffee shop, it reminds me of how important it is to have people in your community who support you. So yes, the blog, the stories, they've all been extremely helpful in propelling the lessons of coaching out into the community.
And what are a few of the lessons or the ideas? Because to me, what was interesting, we talked about life coaching, and I thought it was great how, to me, a lot of what you've seen on television about having a life coach is that you may be in a bad place and trying to get to a good place. And really, what Samantha does more often than that is meets with people that are business people or already very successful but might have a goal that they're trying to reach and just need a little bit of guidance or help meeting that goal. So what are some of the aspects of coaching that you might want to talk to?
Sure. Well, part of the coaching, the principles of coaching is that it's a safe place to have a conversation, that you have a friend almost, but I don't want to make it sound as simple as that, but there's a safety net. There's this, I'm by your side, I get to champion you as you transition. And you have an accountability partner. Really, that's part of the key to coaching is that your coach helps to keep you accountable to what you say you want. And oftentimes, friends it's really wonderful, but they don't want to really speak boldly and say, you said this, and how do you feel that person is vulnerable? So that's part of the coaching relationship is both benefit of friends, but it's also that business relationship in that I get to be their champion. So it's the greatest job on the planet, actually.
So helping them set goals,
Yep.
figure out how to reach the goals, and
Yep.
then holding them accountable in a way that is friendly, but also where you do have a separation from that relationship, so that there's my friends hold me accountable, and I might get mad at them. And in this case,
Yeah.
you know that's your job.
Exactly.
So it's built in and it's sort of understood.
Yep, it is. And part of it, too, is that you don't always see your own blind spots. So a coach can help you just consider that there might be a blind spot that you haven't seen. Friends will do that, too, but it's a little different tool. There's a training technique, there's a process, there's really an honoring of where that person is and how they come to their own conclusions. It's a great big experiment, but it's such a fun one.
Well, the experiment we're having today is this recipe.
Yeah.
Actually, pretty tried and true recipe, not too experimental. But one of the aspects that Samantha and I talked about is when you're trying to get to a new or better or different place in life, one of the things that helps you get there is being a healthy person, exercising, eating right. It helps you achieve those goals. And so we chose this very simple, healthy option. Right now I've got Snickers at home, and this would be a much better option than Snickers. We have the dough kneaded to the point where it's kind of like the consistency of Play-Doh, nice and sticky, stays balled together. And Samantha and I are both going to take what would you say? About
an inch.
tablespoon and a half or so, an inch portion. And all you do is you just ball it into a round ball, and then you roll it into the nuts.
Finely chopped.
Finely chopped
Finely
nuts.
chopped walnuts.
These are gourmet health nuggets is what these are. And you probably, if you don't like walnuts, what you like, the nice thing about this is you can put any kind of topping you want on it. If you really, really, really had to have chocolate, you could probably do a very dark chocolate so you don't get any of the calories of chocolate, right?
Right, and I tricked my son, too, and I've used sprinkles in with it, too, and he thinks that it's like a really nice treat for him.
Yeah, rolled all of the health nuggets out and into the finely chopped walnuts and put them on this cookie tray. And the last step is to chill them for about an hour. Samantha, I think you said that so that they have a nice texture and sort of both the taste and the texture is more bar-like. The colder they are, the more you can convince yourself that you're having a candy bar. But to be real honest, I snuck a little taste, and you don't have to convince yourself. They are really phenomenal. So we're going to put these into the refrigerator for about an hour or so, and then be able to enjoy them after that. Cheers! We're going to try these. They've been chilling for an hour, and like I said, you can see I bit into mine before I put it in there because I couldn't wait, and it's that good. But definitely need to try these at home. They're really good. And your kids, they will love them. They'll think it's a cookie, I promise. So, cheers! I like the honey in it. You can really taste the honey. Yummy. Thank you.